All right, so we have some more Deshaun Watson trade rooms to talk about. So earlier this morning, I woke up to a report saying that Deshaun Watson will consider waiving his no trade clause currently in his contract for the Houston Texans if he were to get traded to the Miami Dolphins. Now, a couple of days ago, I made a video talking about the Deshaun Watson trade and what has to happen for the Deshaun Watson trade to take place. Well, first you have to have a team that has the necessary assets to put together a reasonable trade offer that the Houston Texans will entertain. And I said that the San Francisco 49ers, the Chicago Bears, New England Patriots, although a lot of you fans would love to have Deshaun Watson on your team, the Patriots, the Bears, and the 49ers don't really have the necessary assets to put together a reasonable offer that Houston probably will entertain. Now, the Miami Dolphins, on the other hand, they do. The Miami Dolphins have the third overall pick in the upcoming 2021 NFL draft. They also have a late first round selection in the upcoming draft as well. So if you're the Miami Dolphins, you have the third overall pick, you got a late first round pick. If you add like a second, third rounder in there, plus you throw in Tua Tagovailoa, maybe you add in another above average player. If you're Houston, you have to entertain that trade offer because if Deshaun Watson wants out and you're getting back pretty good compensation in return, third overall selection, you're also getting a late first rounder, and you're getting a couple of additional draft picks as well. If you're Houston, you have to take that because at the end of the day, okay, if you take Tua Tagovailoa in that trade, you got your franchise quarterback of the future. Therefore, you can use that third overall pick. You could use that to trade down, acquire more assets, or you could use that third overall pick to select a much-needed offensive lineman, which you've needed for a very long time. So if you're Houston, by trading for Deshaun Watson with the Miami Dolphins, getting to it in return and getting a couple of first rounders in the upcoming 2021 NFL draft and a couple of draft picks, you can dramatically improve your franchise with a couple of key players and set yourself up for better success in the future because you will have a better overall team. Because remember, the Houston Texans were not a great team. If you take Deshaun Watson out of the equation, the Houston Texans probably go 0-16 in 2020. So for the Houston Texans, by trading Deshaun Watson to the Miami Dolphins, this is a win-win scenario. The Miami Dolphins get the franchise quarterback that they're searching for. The Houston Texans get a franchise quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa on a cheap deal, which means you're going to have more, expendable salary cap in the future. You also get a couple of draft picks, which you got deprived of first-round selections in the early draft picks due to Bill O'Brien destroying your franchise, making a bunch of bad trades. So if you're Houston, and Miami comes at you and says, hey, look, Houston, they dial up the phone, they hit your new GM up on the phone, they say, listen, we're going to give you the third overall pick in our late first rounder in the 2021 NFL draft. We're going to give you a couple of second, third, and fourth round selections, maybe above average player if you're choosing, in return for Deshaun Watson, including Tua Tagovailoa. If you are Houston, if I was Houston, and I was their general manager, and I knew that Deshaun Watson wanted out, and there was possibly nothing I could do to keep Deshaun Watson, I would go ahead and make that trade. Because if you're Houston, by trading away Deshaun Watson, yes, you lose your franchise quarterback, but you also bring in Tua, a young quarterback who you can come in and develop. Plus, you can get in more talent by trading away Deshaun Watson. So, therefore, this is a win-win scenario for the Houston Texans. I think that this is the best thing that possibly could happen to the Houston Texans if they were to trade away Deshaun Watson to Miami, because you're going to acquire a lot of young draft picks. You could trade down or you could draft, and if you hit on those two draft picks, your team could be better without Deshaun Watson than what it was with Deshaun Watson. Because when you had Deshaun Watson, you didn't really have a great supporting cast around him. Now you get rid of Deshaun Watson, you open yourself up to improve your team by trading away Deshaun Watson in return for what you received in compensation in the Deshaun Watson trade. Now I know Chicago Bears fans, 49ers fans, New York Giants fans are probably going to get upset, but you don't really have the necessary assets to make a Deshaun Watson trade happen. Like, for Deshaun Watson to get traded, you have to put together a really good trade offering. Like, you just can't get Deshaun Watson for cheap. I told you guys in the last video I made about this situation, this isn't Madden when you can just trade away one first round pick, a second round pick, and add an above average player in there and the trade goes through. Like, this is real life, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this isn't Madden. If you want to get a superstar caliber quarterback, you got to give away the necessary assets required to get a superstar quarterback. And the only team really that right now has those things are the Miami Dolphins. They have everything required to make a Deshaun Watson trade happen. Now, I saw a couple of Miami Dolphins fans on social media because, pretty much a lot of Miami Dolphins fans were on board for trading for Deshaun Watson, getting rid of Tua Tagovailoa in their first round draft picks. But you're always going to have a couple of outliers out there who always got to try to be different, who always got to try to go against the grain and disagree with the situation. Like, it was a couple of Miami Dolphins fans on the Bleacher Report app talking about it would be a bad idea for the Miami Dolphins to trade our our third overall pick in our late first round in return for Deshaun Watson, a quarterback that has struggled to win the playoffs with, not a lot of weapons and things like that. He hasn't proved he can carry a franchise. Now, I don't know if those Miami Dolphins fans don't watch a lot of Houston Texans football. I don't know if they're drunk. I don't know if, they've been hitting too much gas over the New Year's weekend or whatever, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Because once you get in the playoffs, it doesn't matter how good of a quarterback you are. The teams that go the furthest in the playoffs are the teams that have the better coaches. Why do people still believe that having a great quarterback guarantees you a Super Bowl? Like, this is not Madden. Having a great quarterback does not guarantee you a Super Bowl. Like, a great quarterback cannot carry a team with a bad coaching staff. For you to be a Super Bowl caliber football team, you have to have a great coaching staff. Look at Patrick Mahomes. He has Andy Reid. Drew Brees has Sean Payton. When you name your 5 top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, think about who their head coaches are. Every single one besides Deshaun Watson is going to have an elite or at least a good head coach. So I don't understand the narrative that people think that just because a team has a star quarterback that they easily should be a Super Bowl contender like that. This isn't how it works. This is not the NBA. One player simply doesn't really have that big of an outcome on the whole entire football team. It's like 11 other players on the football team. It's players on defense who have to do their job. It's players on offense who have to do their job. So having a great quarterback is good and all, but having a great quarterback does not guarantee you a Super Bowl if you don't have a great coach. What does Miami have that Houston doesn't have right now? A great coach right now. As a matter of fact, we don't even know who is going to be the next head coach for the Houston Texans. And even if they do bring in a new head coach, we don't even know how good he's going to be. For all we know, he could be worse than what Bill O'Brien was. Bill O'Brien was bad, but let's not act like Bill O'Brien was just a completely bad coach. He became a bad coach when he got general manager duties. Let's not act like Bill O'Brien didn't dominate the AFC South. Let's not act like Bill O'Brien didn't win a playoff game with Brock Osweiler. And we know how bad of a contract that was. That's one of the worst free agent signings ever. So really, Bill O'Brien, you could do a lot worse than Bill O'Brien than what a lot of you Houston Texans fans think. So when you think about Deshaun Watson going to the Miami Dolphins, being paired up with Brian Flores, he is one of the best upcoming coaches in the NFL right now. He has a lot of respect from a lot of the fans, and a lot of NFL coaching staffs have a lot of respect for Brian Flores and what he's done with the Miami Dolphins so far, his 2-year career with them. So you give him Deshaun Watson, this is a playoff caliber football team. And remind you that the Miami Dolphins came close to making it to the playoffs last year. Well, this past season, there's not really a lot of scenarios that you see a 10-6 team miss out on the playoffs more times than not. So if the Miami Dolphins get Deshaun Watson, this is automatically a 12-13 win team right off the bat. And in my opinion, they could be just as good as the Buffalo Bills, if not better, with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. So you guys let me know what you guys think about a Miami Dolphins trade for Deshaun Watson. Would you guys, if you guys were the Miami Dolphins or the Houston Texans, would you accept the trade? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos. Thanks for watching.